How to invest in resources that respect our world? Welfare. It's an important and mandatory topic in today's economy. Stay tuned. Ruzanna Tarverdyan, welcome with us.
Thank you very much for this opportunity again.
We're going to talk about warfare versus welfare. Can you give us a definition about those?
In fact, we have to look at the two notions within the context of policy effectiveness, which means why specific country and with what objective they are spending their limited resources. We know that there is all this process of deliberation whereby just recently also Switzerland, where the huge amount of money has to be allocated for the purposes of securing warfare, and the same authorities are also empowered to direct the resources towards another objective, which is the welfare. What we are encountering is here, what are the criteria, how do specific governments make their choices towards allocating specific resources towards one or the other objective, whereby it's already clear that the same $1 or 1 franc or euro, you name it, can be spent towards creating creches or schools or hospital beds, whereby they invest the same amount of money of having attacking jets or unmanned drones for the future to protect their country from possible war or attacks from external sources.
So this is a point of situation. If we can give examples of resources in welfare that you can share with us.
And I think here from professional speaking, there is a very peculiar notion which is called fungibility. What does it imply? What it means is that when countries have investment programs and they are, or even not enterprises, they can allocate certain amount of money towards categories which are openly welcomed by society, whereby they can hide the resources which are spent for the war, financing the war, under the fungibility threats. This has always been discussed for many, many years for developing world, whereby the governments would artificially decrease their resources towards social development purposes and receive development assistance by donors and allocate their own resources towards military expenditures that had been hidden or far away the eye from donor community.
What are the challenges in this field?
So the most important challenge, I would say, is the procurement transparency, which means why is it happening? The countries which are more transparent, they normally have less resources directly toward military expenses, whereby those who are more corrupt, I may use the word, they will choose to allocate more resources towards military expenditures because these procurements are thoroughly confidential. They are not going through the classical procedures and scenarios, so there is a certain level of leverage for manipulation and misuse.
In this exceptional situation, the world is changing. What are the trends today?
So the biggest trends we see is the use of artificial intelligence in the domain of the military and also the warfare, whereby everything goes already beyond control of the humans. So the notion of war has now, developed to such an extent that satellite systems can identify the huge number of soldiers which can be distracted by drones, and the rich countries can afford apparently winning the war, not because they have the best army in the world, but only simply because they can use the most advanced military drones and artificially distracting their enemies from the far. So this is the artificial intelligence apparently, and the unmanned drones which are making the big shift in the domain.
Can we consider artificial intelligence as an innovation, or are there other innovations that you can share with us?
I think the biggest advantage now is the fourth industrial revolution and artificial intelligence. And danger and the destruction comes whereby, the robots or the drones, they can learn themselves. And they are actually, by doing that, they go beyond control of the humans. And I think this is the biggest challenge to the world. And they might go beyond the control of the humans, and nobody can guarantee their behavior and action. And that's their biggest challenge, I think, which has widely been accepted by the humanity and by the...
Being wise, what are the opportunities in this field? And that would be probably my
So the
last
biggest
question.
opportunity is to shift in thinking in the government, whereby the government will have to decide that they have to minimize or just diminuate the resources which they allocate for financing the warfare. Because, I mean, we know with the COVID crisis, the resources are really shrinking. And no matter how rich the country society is, they need more money than ever. And within this context, I don't think there is any prospect of continuing increase in military expenditures to finance warfare, whereby the countries are in need of definitely covering the welfare expenditures.
Last but not least, how do you see the world of tomorrow?
I mean, I would like to see the world of tomorrow with zero budget on warfare, if it was in theory possible. But we know that there are these huge interest groups, and we know how decisions are made. And unfortunately, we know that the political pressure from those interest groups who make to the parliaments, who make to the government, will never make it happen, at least for the coming future, unfortunately for me.
Ruzanna Tarverdyan, thanks very much for this very interesting interview.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Manuela.
And we wish you the best.
Thank you.
This interview is in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Stay tuned, stay with us.